What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video on my Madden 19 franchise top players at each position. Today we will be going over the wide receivers. This group was a little tough to decide who's going to be on the top. In receivers, I feel like age is more important than it was in running backs and quarterbacks. So you're going to see a lot of surprises. I'm going to just tell you right now the top three were hard. Some people are going to say there's some bias in it, but I'm telling you right now there's not. I have some legitimate reasons why I have it the way I have it. And once again, I want to say that it's not the top players in real life. It's the top players I would pick in a franchise for multiple years, not just one. And let's get in. I forgot to say, what gets taken in consideration is the overall, their age, and the development grade I think they're going to have in Madden 19. I would start off with Odell Beckham, the 95 overall, only 25 years old, superstar development. The reason he's ahead of Julio and Tonio Brown is because he is 5 years younger than them. He's 4 years younger than Antonio and than Julio Jones. The reason he's above them is because they're 29, 30, and they only have 5 years left. To be honest with you, Odell has at least 7 to 10 years, so he has more time that you would have him for, and he's also faster. That's another thing that's pretty good too. All right, next we got Julio Jones. He's 29. I feel like you can swap Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. This depends on if you want the height advantage or not. Because the reason I put Julio above him is because their stats are pretty similar. But Julio's, I think it's 4 inches taller, so maybe 5. So that's why I put him ahead of Antonio Brown. He has a 98, 29 years old superstar development. Antonio Brown is a 99, 30 years old superstar development. The only reason he is not one is because he's 30 years old. Until I did this video, I did not realize how old Antonio Brown was. But he really only has 5 years left at his top potential, which is kind of crazy. Alright, next we got DeAndre Hopkins. He's at 94, he's 26, superstar development. He's got speed, he's lengthy, he's a lot like Julio Jones. He's younger, he's only 26, so he's going to give you at least 6 years at least, probably a little bit more. He's a nice receiver to have. That's pretty much all I have to say about him. Next we got Keaton Allen. That's supposed to say 92. I must click 0 on accident, so he's a 92 overall. 26-year-old superstar development. He could have star development. I kind of was deciding between both of them, but since he's pretty much the leader of that offense, I gave him superstar. He's pretty much an all-around receiver. Yeah, pretty much. He's a nice receiver. He's going to give you about 6 to 8 years, so he's pretty good. Next is Michael Thomas. He's a 91, 25 years old. I only gave him a star development because he's not really a superstar. He's just kind of he's uprising, so maybe he'll get it sooner or later. But he's really just he's kind of like Julio, just not as big. I don't know how to describe him. He's kind of different than all the other receivers on this list. He doesn't have blazing speed or anything. He's just really good at route running and catching, I guess I would say. Next is AJ Green. He's a 93, 29 years old, superstar development. AJ Green is a beast. The only reason he's this low on the list is because of his age. But in my opinion, his talent is I think he's even better than DeAndre Hopkins, even though Hopkins overall higher than him. He's basically like Julio Jones. He's just a little slower. He'll be good for about 3 to 5 years, something like that, at as high as low. Next, we got Stefon Diggs. He's a 90 overall, 24 years old. I only gave him a star development. He could have a superstar, but I just gave him a star. Nice quick receiver. He's got some height to him, and that's about it. He has pretty good route running too, I would say that. Alright, next we got Mike Evans. This is probably the most underrated receiver in the game. In my opinion, he should be a 92, 93 overall, which would put him probably 4th on the list if he was that high of an overall. He's only an 89, 24 years old. I gave him a superstar. I'm pretty sure that's what he had last year too. I think the only reason I could think of why they put him so low is because of his injuries. That's the only thing I could think of. I feel like if he had a better quarterback, he would get better stats as well. He's nice. He's pretty much like AJ Green. No, he's pretty much like Julio and Tonio Brown mixed. Yeah, I would say that. Next we got Alshon Jeffrey. He's pretty underrated just in general. I gave him 90. Well, he is a 90 overall, 20 years old. I gave him superstar development. He's just really underrated in my opinion. He's a lot like DeAndre Hopkins. He's a little smaller, but he's a lot like DeAndre Hopkins. And I feel like, I guess not, actually 90 overall is pretty good for him, actually. I feel like a couple years ago he should have been higher. But for right now, I think 90 overall is good for him. He'll give you about 4 of the 6 years. Alright, now we're on to the honorable mentions. Before I get into it, I'm just going to say there's a lot of receivers that I wanted to put on this list. I just didn't have the room for it. And I'm keeping it down to 2 honorable mentions per video. So there was a lot of guys I wanted to put in it, but I just couldn't. Maybe I'll list off a couple at the end. But these next 2 guys are just young. And if you need, I feel like speed is a huge factor in receivers and franchise. So these next 2 guys are just young and very quick, and they do have good catching as well. So the first one is Tyreek Hill, 87 overall, 24 years old. I did give him superstar because of the year he had. He probably had one of the biggest breakout years, to be honest. I feel like they might not give him superstar, but I feel like he deserves a superstar development after the year that he had. He was just unstoppable. He's the fastest receiver in the game. They put him over John Ross this year, and he's just going to be a cheat code in Madden. You can also run the Wildcat and have him run the ball as well. I've seen that very effective in the past. And then the second honorable mention is Brandon Cooks, 87 overall, 24 years old. I only gave him a star development. Same thing with him. He's really quick. He's not as quick as Cooks, but he is. Not as quick as Tyreek Hill, but he is one of the fastest receivers in the game, and he is young as well. Forgot to say, these 2 will probably give you about 8 years. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the tight ends. Thanks for watching.